Monster Machines is nearly upon us, and today we'll be going through my top 5 multicolored cards from Monster Machines for Standard. There are a ton of amazing ones. What are they going to be? Well, let's get into it. Coming number 5, we have Invasion of New Forexia, X, White, and Blue. You get to create X 2/2 night creature tokens with Vigilance. So pretty cool, right? Let's say you pay 5 mana, you get 3 2/2s of Vigilance. That's pretty good going, and it comes into play with 6 damage counters on it. That's not too bad. Vigilance, that's pretty good going. It gets to transform into Teferi, Ahsoka of Zalfir. This is a really good Planeswalker. 4 loyalty, +1. You get to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. Okay, pretty decent. Then -2, you get an emblem with night creatures you control, get +1/+0 and have ward 1. Then you just buffed up all of these knights that you played. And then -3, you get to tap X creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent own controls of mana value X or less into their library. Awesome, right? Let's say you made 4 night tokens, you paid 6 mana, you made 4 2/2s of Vigilance, and then eventually you deal the damage, you then flip into Teferi, you do its -3, you basically get to shuffle something away. Really cool. So I really rate this card. Does need a little bit of work doing, being able to deal that damage counters does need a bit of work doing. It's blue-white, so you go into maybe a blue-white token style list, get a bunch of tokens out, a bunch of creatures out. It's pretty cool, pretty decent. Does rely on a bunch of knights, and there are some cool knights in Standard. You got a little bit of a build around, but I like me some build around cards, so that's why it is at number 5, because it does require a little bit more effort to make it really good. And then number 4, we have Zergo and Ojitai. This is a really cool combo. So 5 mana for a 4/4 flying haste. So it is Jeskai colors. Has hexproof as long as it entered the battlefield this turn. So when you play it, basically is a 4/4 flying haste hexproof. Really cool, nice little protection there. And then whenever one or more dragons you control deals combat damage to a player or battle, okay, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your library. You get to put one of them into your hand and the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. And then you may return one of those dragons to your hand. Now, this is a really good build around. We've already seen a ton of amazing dragon support in this set and already in Standard. You can build a really nice, build around with this style of deck. And it's really cool, right? It is a 5 mana 4/4 flying hexproof and haste. Very cool. So you get some good little advantage as well. It has to be, whenever one or more dragons you deal combat damage. So it could just be this one. This is still pretty decent. I do like this. I think it's a nice build around card. The artwork's awesome. And there's some really good synergies with like the Invasion of Tarkir, which is the red siege that we looked at the other day. So I do feel like this is a really good card for a build around for dragons. I'm looking forward to it. I love dragons, so this is going to be a really cool card to play in Standard. And then number 3, we have Golta and Mavrin. 3 colorless, double green, double white, 12/12 with trample. This is a big dino. So you're paying a lot of mana, right? You're paying 7 mana for a 12/12 trample. Okay, that's a good stat to begin with. And then whenever you attack, you get to choose one. You just attack. Not with this creature. Whenever you attack, you get to create a tap attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among attacking creatures. Incredible. Imagine attacking with this. Bang, here's another 12/12 with trample, right? Or you get to make X 1/1 vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. So you imagine you attack with maybe 2 creatures, let's say. You can either have something massive, or you can start making a bunch of little tokens. Really good build around. You could just make it big and stompy, or you could make it go kind of a little bit wide, which is quite nice. Great stat line. I mean, 7 mana, you want a big 12/12, right? Doesn't have an enter the battlefield effect. However, if you do make it to an attack step and you already have stuff in play, this is a good top end card to have in any deck. I really rate this. This is going to be a really cool build around. I just want to build a dinosaur deck now with this card in it, because it's going to be an absolute powerhouse in that late game. Don't have removal for this, it's gonna hurt. Golta, we saw it before in the past. Golta is an incredible powerhouse, and the fact is this gets to make tokens as well. Really good. You have a 5/5, I know you attack a 1/5/5 creature, well you can make a 5/5 trample that's attacking as well with it. I really rate this card, and I'm looking forward to building a really cool deck around it. Coming number 2, we have Croxa and Curino. So we have a good doggo and a big titan. Mardu. 3 colorless, 1 of each of the Mardu colors. 6/6 vigilance, menace, lifelink. This is a good card. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may exile up to 5 cards from your graveyard. When you do, you get to return a target creature card from your graveyard to for the battlefield. This is similar to the old original Titan cycle with Primeval Titan, Inferno Titan, Grave Titan, Frost Titan, and of course Sun Titan. Those 5 OGs, they triggered when they came in and they triggered when they attack, and they were a 6/6 or 6 that had a evergreen ability. Will not be trample, will not be death touch, things like that, vigilance, stuff like that. But this has 3 of them. It has vigilance, menace, and lifelink. 3 really relevant things, right? But this gets to recur something back from your graveyard. Okay, you have to fill stuff in your graveyard. Ain't gonna be that difficult. Again, you're playing cards, you know, again, this is a 6 mana, it's a big creature. You're gonna have stuff going into your graveyard. You're against a deck that wants to kill your stuff. This is a great top end to bring stuff back from your graveyard. Very, very cool indeed. And it's just a big beat stick. I'm really excited for this build around. Mardu loves having stuff in their graveyard. It can be quite easy. If you've got Mirror Breaker, that can dump stuff in your graveyard as well. Treasure token, maybe, you know, blood tokens from your blood tie harvesters, dumping stuff in your graveyard. You have ways to get stuff in your graveyard in standard. It isn't that difficult. So yeah, this is going to be a really good card. This is going to see, I think, a decent amount of play in Mardu. It is kind of restricted to Mardu, but you can get some really cool shenanigans going with things like Traxxer as well. So yeah, there's a lot of build around that you could do with this. Super cool. And finally, number 1, we have Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. This is a really good card. 4 mana, 4/4, first strike, death touch. Incredible stat line, right? We've seen it with Glisser. Really tough to fight through. That's a 3/3 with first strike and death touch. You get to play an additional land each turn. Basically, kind of ramps you as well. Creatures your opponents control and non-basic lands enter the battlefield tapped. Fantastic. We've seen how many decks in standard right now trying to use non-basic lands. And I think there's going to be even more. That's going to be very, very good. And then on top of that, when it attacks, you may sacrifice a creature or a land, then you get to draw a card. Very good. You don't want that land? Alright, cool. I get to draw a card. I don't want this little token or this small creature? Cool. I get to draw a card. Very, very good. I think this is so good. You are restricted to Abzan colors, of course, means it is triple color, but it is so good, right? It is so good. You can get some really good support with this. Wedding Announcement will work fantastic with this as well. You can just sack the tokens to start drawing some fantastic cards. 4/4 first strike, death touch. Really, really tough to deal with. Ramshu as well. Oh, it just does it all. Just does it all. So I really do rate this, and I think this is going to be very, very strong and standard. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Abzan deck. I'm definitely going to try and build one and climb ladder with it. It is that good. There you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 multicolored cards from March on Machines for standard. Let me know in the comments, guys, what are your favorite cards from the multicolored cards. I think they're really good. I think there's some fantastic cards. Croxa, really looking forward to it. Thalia, of course, is very, very strong. And Golta, big boy coming in. Really, really excited to build around. These are really good build around cards, and I like cards that you could just create brand new decks and new strategies. Super, super cool. Really, really excited. But if you want to know what my picks are for the best green cards in the format from March Machines for standard, then make sure to click on the video right here. If you watch more Magic content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.